False morality. It's a question that baffles many. How can individuals who espouse Christian beliefs and values, who claim to be moral, reconcile their support for someone like Donald Trump? To most, this seems not just contradictory, but even antithetical to the very values they profess to hold dear. To explore this puzzle, we must first define what morality truly is. What is morality? Morality is often understood as a system of rules or guidelines for right and wrong. It involves actions such as not lying, not cheating, being charitable, attending religious services, or following certain ethical codes. At its core, morality represents our ability to do what is right by others, whether through small acts of kindness or broader efforts to improve the well-being of the community. But morality cannot be reduced merely to rule following. If we strip morality down to a set of actions, going to church every Sunday, volunteering at a soup kitchen, or praying before dinner, we miss the deeper essence of what it means to be truly moral. These actions, though commendable in many ways, are often a reflection of goodwill, an attitude of cooperation, and an openness to helping others. Yet this goodwill alone may not be enough to define true morality. More about this later. The Trump dilemma. Enter the mystery of how so many conservative Christians, particularly evangelicals, could justify supporting Donald Trump, a man whose personality and actions starkly contrast with the values many profess to uphold. Trump is known for his narcissism, lack of empathy, divisiveness, and his numerous personal scandals. Yet millions of evangelical voters seem unconcerned by these qualities, choosing instead to focus on his political stances and promises. How can such individuals reconcile their support for a man who represents the antithesis of Christian virtues like compassion, humility, and love for one's neighbor? The answer, I argue, lies in a deeper misunderstanding, or perhaps a deliberate distortion, of what morality truly is. Morality is oneness. True morality comes not from following a set of prescribed rules, but from a deeper, intrinsic sense of oneness with others. This sense of unity fosters empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to alleviate suffering in the world. Morality, then, isn't simply about acting good. It's about being good, acting from a place of interconnectedness and shared humanity. In contrast, Trump supporters often exhibit a clear us versus them mentality. This divisive worldview separates people into categories, those who are like us and those who are other. This division is fundamentally at odds with the Christian call for love and inclusivity. The very spirit of Christianity is rooted in oneness. The idea that we are all God's children, all worthy of compassion and respect. Yet this sense of unity seems absent in many of Trump's most ardent supporters, who view their values as an exclusionary, defensive stance against perceived threats to their way of life. Co-opting Christianity. For many conservatives, Trump's appeal stems not just from his political positions, but from how he seemingly aligns with their cultural values. However, the sense of oneness that should be at the heart of true morality is notably absent in this equation. In fact, I would argue that what we are witnessing is a repurposing of Christianity to justify a certain worldview, one that is not truly moral at all. Many of these Trump supporters seem to have co-opted Christianity, using it as a shield to cover their deep-seated bigotry and us versus them mentality. They may attend church, they may volunteer, they may talk about their Christian values, but these actions are in service to a morality that is not rooted in empathy or compassion. Instead, it is a moral veneer, a thin, external layer of righteousness that masks their true nature. This is not morality at all. It is the imitation of morality. It is a way of appearing moral without engaging in the introspective, compassionate, and deeply ethical practices that true morality demands. It is an outward show, not an inward transformation. The shadow of the self. In Jungian psychology, the concept of the shadow refers to the repressed or denied aspects of the self. These are traits, desires, or behaviors that are deemed unacceptable and thus pushed into the unconscious. For many Trump supporters, their political and cultural views are shaped by a shadow self that seeks to suppress differences, uphold power, and protect the status quo at all costs. Their embrace of an us versus them mentality is a clear manifestation of this shadow, one they fail, or refuse, to confront. In this light, supporting Trump becomes a form of psychological projection. The people who most loudly defend Trump may be doing so because his character reflects their own repressed or denied traits. His divisiveness, aggression, and disregard for others may resonate with their own hidden desires for dominance, control, and superiority. Their moral posturing, cloaked in religious language, functions as a way to deflect from this deeper, unresolved conflict within themselves. The false morality of rule following. Another aspect of this false morality is the rigid adherence to rules without understanding the spirit behind them. Conservative Christians often rely on rules, such as those against homosexuality or transgender rights, as markers of morality. Yet this rule following is inherently limited and misses the greater picture. True morality is about the intention behind the rule, not the rule itself. For example, condemning LGBTQ+ individuals based on biblical texts without considering the broader message of love, compassion, and inclusion is a prime example of this distorted morality. These individuals may be following rules, but they are doing so without a true understanding of the compassion that should guide those rules. It's not about rigid laws, but about an underlying attitude of caring for others, regardless of their identity or beliefs. Conclusion: a litmus test of true morality. At the end of the day, the question of whether or not one supports Trump is more than a political or ideological stance. It is, I believe, a litmus test of one's true moral nature. Those who genuinely embody the spirit of oneness, who feel connected to others and act out of compassion, find it difficult, if not impossible, to support a man like Trump. On the other hand, those who cling to an exclusionary us versus them mentality are more likely to embrace Trump, even if it means distorting their religious beliefs to do so. The key to understanding this puzzle is recognizing that true morality is not about outward behavior, rule following, or religious observance. It is about a deep, internal sense of connection to others, one that transcends divisions and fosters compassion, empathy, and understanding. Those who fail to grasp this essential truth may find themselves using religion as a mask to hide their true nature, a nature that is more aligned with the shadowy qualities of the very person they support. Morality is not about mimicking virtuous behavior. It is about embodying a genuine spirit of love and oneness. When we forget this, we risk falling into the trap of false morality, one that is driven by division, power, and self-interest rather than true compassion and understanding.